There was one additional passage of scripture that I have in my notes, but I didn't want to read through it now because I'll be talking about that. I'll be quoting that in a subsequent video. So just the basic idea of it, it's the story of Lazarus and the rich man, which Jesus told, and some people think it was a parable. Some people think that it actually happened literally. But what the story is, there's a rich man and there's a very poor man named Lazarus, different from the Lazarus who died and Jesus wept at his tomb. So this is a different person with the same name, Lazarus. And the poor man dies, the rich man dies, they go to the afterlife. And the rich man is in hell, the poor man is in heaven, and the rich man wants to warn his brothers not to come to hell as well. But what this story illustrates, and what I want to draw out of it for our purposes here, when these people are in the afterlife, their bodies are decaying in the ground. So the material component of man in these stories, in this story, is dead, dying, or dead, decaying, and the immaterial component lives on. Now there's going to come a point in the future when these souls are reunited with their bodies at the general resurrection, but for now they are separated from their bodies, and in the case of the poor man, present with the Lord. So that was the last passage of scripture after 1 Peter 3, and there was one final point I wanted to make about an immaterial soul. Spiritual death in humans is a core theme of the Bible as a whole, but that presupposes that, spiritual death in humans presupposes a spiritual component of human beings, and spiritual is immaterial. So because the Bible teaches that there is an immaterial or spiritual death to man as a result of sin, that presupposes the fact that there is a spiritual component to be dead in man, or to be born again for the person who turns to Christ. So spiritual death presupposes a spirit. There is spiritual death, therefore there is a spirit in mankind. Each person has a spirit, a human spirit, or an immaterial component. Well, that sums up what I want to say about the soul. Next, I'm going to be addressing the topic of Molinism. And if you've never heard of that, if you don't know what that is, then you'll want to check back in and find out. It's very interesting. Thank you.